Hey guys, Dr. Yu here. I'm going to talk about what you need to complete for this week. Now the good news is this is the last week that we are going to cover any new material. So you are almost to the end of the class. You have come this far, and I think most of you have done a great job. All right, so let's look at what we have this week. You will see some handwriting, some drawing here. That's because I was using Loom to record this, but for some reason the video didn't work. So this is the second time I'm doing it. All right, now let me give you a general idea of what you are expecting, for the last few weeks of this course. All right, so we are currently in this week, right? So on Saturday and Sunday, that's going to be lecture test 4, and I'll give you some details in just a few minutes. And the following week is the Thanksgiving week. So we will have class on Tuesday. Remember, usually we have online class meetings on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So for the Thanksgiving week, we're just going to have a class meeting on Tuesday, and I will go over some of the genetic problems with you. So there's no office hours on Wednesday, so you can do whatever you need to do. I know some of you will probably have a lot of things to do before Thanksgiving. And once you come back from Thanksgiving, this week is going to be the last week for this course, where you are going to take the last lecture test, and then any makeup test that you want to do to improve your grade. Right? So this is going to be lecture test 5 and the makeup test. All right, so that's the plan for the last few weeks. All right. Let's look at what we are going to do this week. So for the lecture, you are going to go over a very short chapter called Natural Selection. So if you look at the lecture recording, you will notice that it's a lot shorter than the previous lecture recordings. It's a very short chapter, shouldn't take very long. You need to complete by the end of Sunday the Lumen study plan and the quiz. So that's all you need to do for the lecture. For the lab, we are doing trait of inheritance. So for this lab, do not follow eScience. Do not use eScience lab. All right, instead, you should use the handout and workbook I uploaded to Blackboard. So use those to complete this lab. Usually lab is due on Thursday, but this week I'm going to extend the deadline to the following Tuesday, which is November 24th. And that's because you are going to have a lecture test this weekend, right? So I want you to have a little bit more time to prepare for the test and then finish the lab portion. Another reason is that I want to go over all the genetic problems with everybody on Tuesday, November 24th. Remember, I said we won't have online class meeting on Wednesday, but we will have the last one on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, again, I will review those genetic problems. So if you're not sure how to solve those problems, you can wait until Tuesday, come to class, and hopefully after the class you know how to solve them, and then you can submit your answers to Blackboard. So this way you can get full credit. Okay? So again, this is another chance for you to get full credit for assignment. So if you can, make sure you join me on Tuesday, November 24th. Okay, now for the lecture test, again, as previous test, it's going to be open on Saturday and Sunday. It's closed book test. Okay, so you need to record yourself. If you have been having trouble with Zoom, make sure you apply for a Loom educational account. So this allows you to continue to use Loom and record videos without any time limit. Okay, so if you haven't done that yet, make sure you do it as soon as possible. Because without videos, without recording, I can't give you any credit for taking the test. All right, the test is going to cover just 2 chapters, transcription and translation, and then gene expression. And I'm going to do a test review this week on Tuesday and Wednesday. We're going to go over those 2 chapters and hopefully get you guys ready for the test. So I want to show you what the lab looks like, because this week you're not using eScience, but my own handout and workbook. So once you are in this lab folder, again, don't go to genetics of organisms. We're going to use our own material. And this is second item. It won't be available to you, so you won't be able to see this. You're looking at my page now, so it's now the student view, so you're going to see something that that's not available to you. So just come down here to look at these two items. The first one is the lab handout, which is a scan page that will provide you with some background of the genetic problems you're going to solve. So once you open it, it's going to look like this. So you can see there are some definitions for the terms in genetics, and then it's gonna kind of take you through the different types of inheritance. So you're gonna learn about complete dominance, incomplete dominance, codominance, and then sex-linked traits. So in this course, if I don't say anything, you can assume that any sex-linked traits are linked to the X chromosome. Because remember, the X chromosome is a lot bigger than the Y chromosome, and it carries a lot of the genes that are not present on the Y chromosome. So when we're looking at the traits coded by those genes, these traits are going to be linked to the X chromosome. Okay? So this is a background page, and make sure you go over this before you try to solve the genetic problems. And then the next page is going to be the page that has all the questions. So you can download that page from this attached file or from the file in the instruction. And this is what it looks like. When you try to answer these questions, make sure you know which questions are under which category, meaning what type of inheritance the questions are following. So for example, on the top, you will see a table with complete dominance, right? And then it gives you the different traits, which one is dominant, which one is recessive. And then you will see two questions. So that means questions 1 and 2 are going to follow complete dominance. So this is how you are going to solve these problems. And then when you come down, the second category, the incomplete dominance, right? And then you see questions 3 and 4. So that means 3 and 4 are going to follow incomplete dominance. So if you are going to use complete dominance to solve questions 3 and 4, you're going to get wrong answers. So be sure you know what type of inheritance the questions are under. Okay, so you can use the correct principle to solve these problems. So again, 5, 6, and 7, they will follow sex-linked traits. So you need to use the sex-linked traits to solve these problems. All right, so there is a total of 9 questions. So question 9 is a little bit complicated, but I think you can solve it. How do you submit your answers? You are going to create a Word document, and you can enter your answers in the Word document. But it might be hard to do the Punnett square in a Word document, if you have to type everything. So it's totally okay if you want to just write your answers on a piece of paper and then take pictures of your answers and then submit the pictures. That's totally okay. And I might prefer that because this gives you more flexibility to draw the Punnett square and then write down the answers. So whichever way you prefer, that's fine with me, as long as you show me the Punnett square and then your answers for the different percentages. Okay. All right. So that's all for this week's material. If you have any questions, just let me know. All right.